But in the future, you have the right to nag me about some things. Is that clear?
I did ask you. You said no.
I said no, not then. Okay, when you started showing me examples. Now I've got Veronica all magnified. I don't know how to make her small again. There you go, Veronica. Now, let's talk about how you went from the inputs to say the number of yeses is 3. How did you do that? How'd you do it?
I just counted the number of yeses.
Well, that's not really how you did it. Okay, can I show you how you did it?
Sure.
Okay, y'all gonna get mad with me?
No.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Let me say something. Sometimes we can look at the whole picture and process all the data at one time when your program doesn't process it all at one time. It processes it vote by vote. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you. When I first get started, how many yeses have I seen? When I first get started, how many yeses have I seen? How many?
0.
This is for everybody. How many no's have I seen when I first get started?
1.
I'm gonna have a baby. How many? Before I ever get started, how many yeses have I seen?
0.
How many no's have I seen?
0.
So it means that whatever we do, we got to say, whoa, before we ever start, we got to start at 0. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Line 9. Right here. Came up with 3, right?
Yes.
Where did the 3 come from?
From adding?
Yeses.
Somewhere or another, you have a variable that you're using to count with. And you say, in the beginning, I haven't seen anything, so it's a 0. And oh, I'm reading my data, it's a Y, I still don't change that. When I see a yes, I say, let's count it. When I see yes again, we're going to say, let's count it. When I see yes again, we're going to count it. That's how you ended up with 3, isn't it?
Yes.
Did we do all the 3 at one time, or did we look at the vote and say, if it's a Y, I'm going to count it as a yes. If it's a Y, I'm going to count it as a yes. If it's a Y, I'm going to count it as a yes. How do we handle the ends?
The second one.
How do we handle the ends? Okay,
the same way we did it with
that's the word I want. That's the magic word. That's the magic word. I count the yeses the same way I count the no's. Got it? I got to do it the same way. All right? Now, is it clear to do this counting you need some more variables? Okay? What's a good variable name?
Y.
What's a better variable name? What is in this variable?
Yes.
What does the variable contain? It contains a number that represents what?
Oh.
Total.
Precision.
Total.
How about call this Y? Get out of the way, get out of the way. Count. I should have that. This thing's getting on my nerves. It's got my name in here. I can't see anything. Why don't you call this Y count, right? You're counting the Y's. Is that true?
Yes.
And what should this joker be called?
Ncount.
Yes. If you want to say yes, help yourself. Yes count, no count. But the key thing is the variable name tells you what it has in it, so you don't be wondering what it is. It's a count. What's the data type?
Integer.
Integer. This thing's getting on my last nerve, okay? What's the data type? Same thing, right? So we have two counters here, a yes count and a no count, a yes count and a no count. Are we good? So now we can start talking about how do we solve this problem. How do we solve the problem? Input, process, output. So how do we do it?
Well, you read your inputs.
Okay, but we got to be very careful now, okay, because what we're saying is, I'm gonna let it go. But before you do anything, what do? You deal with all your variables, right?
Yes.
All your variables. Notice that as we work through this, we are discovering, ooh, I need a variable for this. Ooh, I need a variable for that. Are y'all noticing that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And is it clear that if we had not made up this example, we couldn't do what we're doing now?
Yes.
The
Yes.
example is the most
Sure.
critical thing in problem solving. All right. Now, let's talk about these variables. What about these variables? This thing must start at 0. This thing must start at 0. Is that true? This is getting on my nerves. This is worrying me something fierce. Whew, I hate this thing. I almost need a screen where I can do the text thing. Come on, man. If we created this variable, we can do it this way. Can't we say Ycount and say it's equal to 0? Can't we say that?
Yes.
Can we? That way we guarantee what? When we do this, we're guaranteeing what?
We start off at 0?
That we're starting off right. You gotta be at 0 for these counts. Anytime you count stuff, you must always start at 0. Okay? So when we declare this variable, we gotta say it's gotta be 0. Same thing for Ncount. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I think we're at the point now where we can probably pull together some pseudocode. Is that true?
I guess.
Okay. Am I ready to? I'm not totally ready to do that. Okay. Let's not do that yet, because how many are following? And I don't know what to tell you. I cannot overemphasize that you need to try to solve problems this way. I could have said go write the code and we wouldn't take an hour doing this, because all the time we're taking is taken away from other stuff, but this is important. Now, tell me something. This is crazy. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. Oh, mercy. Okay, I did not mean to take all this time. I don't know how y'all would have done this if we hadn't done it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how you would have done it. So I guess I'm doing my job. Maybe I won't get fired today. All right, let's see.
Would this be easier for you if you shared and I jumped off?
No. It's no, because you got this thing going, girl. Okay.
I don't, but
You're doing okay. What did I just circle?
the amount of yeses in District 1.
You're using the wrong word. What's the word that we have just talked about for the last 5 minutes?
The Y count of yeses in District 1.
What's the type of programming element are we talking about? Isn't it a counter?
Yeah.
Isn't this same thing just like, doesn't it have the same properties of Ycount and Ncount? All of these guys right here are counts, right? They're counting something different, but they're all counts. All of these guys are counts. Do y'all buy that? Does everyone see that?
Yes.
All of these things are count. Therefore, please, what we just learned about Ycount and Ncount, the same rules apply. What rules? What's the data type?
Integer.
Integer. What else about it?
I mean, there's also a character because you have to do the by.
It's not a no, it's not a character, not a character. All the counts are integers. What else do I have to do? They all start at what value?
0.
0.
Are you the only one saying this? So now here, so what's missing? What's missing is we got to come up with names for these things, don't we? How many of these jokers do we need? How many do we need?
3 or 5.
Huh?
5. There are 5 voters.
Huh?
5 of them. I don't know.
I'm gonna have a
6.
It's 6 of them, right?
Oh yeah, because we have to include the 0.
Yeah. For every district, you got a count of yes and a count of no. Got it? So what's a good name for these jokers? What's a good name? What word do I want to see in the name?
District.
I'm gonna have a
By 1.
Count.
Say what?
Count.
You better say count, okay? Whatever it is, it's a count. So let's come up with a name. Why don't we say count, okay? Let's put something out front. This one right here is talking about which district? The first one you see is talking about what district?
1.
District 1.
Why don't we say District 1? Is that okay? What are we counting here? Are we counting yeses or nos?
Yeses.
Yeses.
Why don't we say that? How does that read to you now? Tell me what I just wrote. Say
didn't
it.
write.
District 1, yes, count.
Is that a good name?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a count, but as the adjective, you're saying better what you are counting. It's not the yes count. It's the yes count from District 1.
Do you want me to switch the order? Yes, count from District 1.
I like the way I did it, okay? Because I'm stubborn and old, okay? To me, this is a short way of doing it. The last word I want to say is count. I've got to qualify it. It is not the overall yes count. It's the District 1 count. And that way, all the variables are named in a similar way. If I were you, I would use just a D. I wouldn't put district, okay? Do y'all know why I don't want y'all to type long things?
Just to make it faster?
And because you're going to misspell stuff. You're
I
going
think it's complicated.
Well, are you going to misspell stuff? If you can have a combination of letters and digits that make it clear what you're talking about, then you'll be okay. Now, whoa. What else did we say? We said all counts have to start at 0. Didn't we say that? We said that, right?
Yes.
So when we declare it, we need to go ahead and put out here, District 1, yes count. If you say that, then it's pretty clear. Every time you see this thing, you say, oh, it's District 1, yes count, okay? The moment you explain that one time, you don't have to keep explaining it over and over again because you're telling them how you named it, okay? Is everybody on board with this? So what have we basically said? We have said this program is about counting stuff. It's about counting stuff. So you got to learn how to do counters. Counters are integers, they're whole numbers, they start at 0. Every time something happens, you might add 1 to it because we're counting by 1. Are we good? Now, can I show you something? Okay?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to leave you alone. No, you're good. Now, I'm going to have to tell you something. To do the second part of this, where you're doing the district counts, is actually a little difficult. Okay? And I'm not sure I'm going to try to solve that today. Okay?
Okay.
This is horrible. Time is getting away. Time is getting away. Good heavens, time is getting away. Foot.
So it's right how it's written right now, right?
You're scaring me the way it's written, okay? You're scaring me a little bit. As long as you understand what you have there, if you know by that you mean you have, I almost would rather you do it the way I have mine here. That way there's no mistaking anything, right?
Okay.
Because when you start doing your program, funny things may happen to your mind, right? And the moment you type what you have there, you're in a world of trouble. It's going to take you 30 minutes to figure it out. Okay. What am I going to do? Let's see. Now, we got to do this. We got to plow ahead. Now, what have we decided? Okay, here's what we're going to do. The counts for the district vote counts for right now, we're going to lay those aside. And we're just going to focus on producing the overall tallies. That's all I want to do is produce the overall tallies. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Once we have the overall tallies, then we will put some extra work in how to make the tallies for every district. That's all I want to do. Okay. You've scared me a little bit. Hold it.
I wrote it though. You wrote it.
No. Something is missing. One time you had in here how many voters from each district? How many voters from each district?
Yeah, I erased that because you said it was
Why?
wrong.
I didn't say that. I think you
You
got
said
busy.
we're not asking for how many. You said we're not asking for how many voters in each district.
That's fine. That's perfect then. That's even better. Okay, that's wrong. All right. Now, can't do this. I got to take a 5-minute break. We're not doing any of the stuff I meant for us to do today. Okay. And we may have to slip out of this unless we stay here to 9 o'clock. But we may have to bail out of this. I'm taking a break, get a little smoke down, and see how I'm going to feel in 5 minutes. All right.
Okay.
So who was understand what he was talking about, like before everything? I was lost.
What part are you talking about?
I understood like the beginning part, what y'all was talking about.
Tamika.
Hey Tamika. I was just having trouble with like the integer part. Like, why should they be 0?
Because it's a counter, so every counter has to start at 0 is what I got from what he's saying. And then as we add in data, it'll because it'll ask us, what does voter 1 say? I'm gonna guess the actual program, it's not gonna ask us to put in data all at once like we usually do. It's gonna have us put in voter 1's vote, and then we'll see the tally go up, and then we do it again, and it just keeps doing it.
Okay.
At least that's what I think it is. But
so like if we doing like a quiz, like if we get a question right, it starts at 0 and it just goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Why he got stressed out? I was moving. I was moving upstairs. He stressed out? That's why.
Yeah, he's stressed because
Man, that's nothing new. You always stress.
he said he's stressed because this isn't what we're supposed to be doing today.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
The class. Supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, he said we spent half the class doing something we're not supposed to do it today. But we didn't ask him to do this. He did, so I don't.
We should be going over the test.
Yeah, because I have no idea how that's supposed to be looking. What is like?
But it's good because at least we're getting the assignment done.
True. But I really can't fail this test, so I need him to do that the next half of this.
No.
What are we doing now?
Pray.
Wait, what did you say?
I said pray, and I didn't study.
Wait, what happened?
Bad.
Somebody said, what do we do?
Is he on a smoke break or something?
Yeah, he said like he needs like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think we about to put him on cigarettes.
What?
It was a
Okay. I'm losing people all the time. What's going on here? Okay. Mia, where are you?
Here.
Okay. Why don't you share?
Okay.
Why don't you split your screen, split your screen and open up another file? So you can have two things side by side. That's not what I meant.
I'm gonna put the file on this side. No.
Still not what I meant, but let's go ahead. Go ahead. In Codio, you could have split your screen. Under View.
You do that in Codio.
Huh?
Okay. Hold on, let me try it.
View vertical. Okay.
Did not know I could do that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. We got to hurry, guys. Okay. Let's focus on algorithm now. We're gonna call it algorithm. Okay. Now, what do we have to do, guys? Okay. Go ahead and say 0. I don't mind you saying 0. Step 0. Come on. We got to get through this. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Just put a 0. Don't say the word step. Just say 0. Trust me. Trust me. We got to speed it up. 0. Period. Just say declare your variables. Declare variables. Okay. Set up your variables. Good enough. Period. Period. Stop. Okay. Now, what's the next thing we're going to do? Don't you have to set up? You have to open your file. You got to open your file. Open which file? What's the input file?
Vote.dat.
Okay. Once you have the file open, we can do what?
Read our variables.
No. Okay. Let's see how we're going to do this. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Let's read the data for the, oh shoot. Let's read the data for the first voter. Say read data for first voter. Okay. And what variables are you going to be using here? What variables are we using?
G1 and V1.
There we go. You remember that. Excellent. All right, good. Period. Now, guys, this is where probably you've never done this before. Okay, so you got to just type what I say.
Alrighty.
Because let me tell you what you're going to do. Once I have V1, what am I going to say? V1, if it's a, if V1 is yes, I want to count it as a yes count. Is that true?
Yes.
So let's say the word if. If V1 is a Y, then what you're going to do?
Count it.
Don't say you, just say what?
Then you count it as Y count.
Won't you say it, just say increase. Increase what?
Y count. By 1.
Yes, that's perfect. I love that. Okay, I like the way you say that. Okay, now hold it. Let's just stay right here. Step number 3.
Okay.
Is it clear we've never written a step like this before?
Yes.
Isn't this like an
Yeah,
if
it's an if
statement? It's almost like an if statement.
Yes.
So we're not going to fool with it for right now. Now, what's the next thing we're going to do?
You have to do, if V1 is an N, then increase the N count by 1.
Let's roll it. Let's roll it. We're going to do it this way. It's not. Take the word the out of there. Take the word the out. Take the word the. Keep it nice and tight. There you go. Put a period at the end of the lines, please. Put a period at the end of the lines.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like in English, when you put a period, you mean you've said all you're going to say, right? And you're not leaving something out. There you go. Now, I got a question for you jokers right here and now. I got a question for you.
Listening.
Can you draw a flow chart that has that in it?
Yes. Actually,
Okay. We're not going to do it yet. Not going to do it yet. Now, here's what we're going to do. I need to see some faces. I've gone too long without looking at you. I need to see some faces. We have lost 40% of the class tonight. 40% of the class is missing.
I don't think everybody logged in, but
I ain't gonna worry about it, okay? Let's do this. Is this how we handle one vote? The stuff we have written, does that say, here's how you do one? Does it say that?
yes.
No. They don't know. It's yes. Only.
Don't we have to include the district though? But
no, we're not doing it.
But don't we have to put in an input for the district though? Okay.
But you read the district and you read the vote. Okay? For right now, all we want to do is tally the votes.
Okay.
I need to try to say this again. When a program has 10 things to do, you got to focus on which one you want to do first. Don't try to do all 10. That's what I'm trying to get you to learn. All right? Now, let's skip forward. Let's skip forward. Suppose we only had, suppose there really was only one voter in there to start with. Let's put steps 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's put 5, 6, 7, and 8. 6, and leave them blank. Just leave them blank. Okay, and then on 9, we're gonna do the output that we want to do.
Okay.
We're gonna do the output. So you can say the word display. What are we going to display? Go over to your left window. Over to your left window. Aren't we going to say, what did you say over here? What you have over here? What you have over here? Aren't we going to do this?
In display.
Total amount of yeses, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. Okay, there you go. And then line 10, just on line 10, just go ahead and say display the variable. What's the variable? What's the variable you're displaying?
Variable is Y1 or V1, sorry.
No, it's not V. On line 9 on the left side, this 3, what is 3?
It's the amount of total variables.
What variable is that?
The total amount of yeses.
Total amount of yeses. So is it like TY or YTs?
Help her out, y'all.
TY, like total amount of yeses.
Hold on,
Is it
Mia.
Ycount?
Yes, it is. Yeah, man. Yes, it is. Do yourself a favor. For step 10, just say display Ycount. Just say Y. Don't put extra words in there. Display Ycount, because Ycount is a variable, right?
Yes.
Okay. What else you going to display? You got to do the same thing for 9 and 10. You got to repeat the same 2 lines. Just copy and paste the lines. Just copy and paste. And that way we just save a lot of trouble. Whew. This is too out of control. I'm getting old watching you, girl. I'm getting old watching you.
Sorry, I type slow.
Well, you need to. I got to show you a trick or two. All right, Ncount. Now, let's step back. Is everybody convinced that if we do what we have written here, we will solve the problem if there was just one voter? How many agree with that? Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Now, don't do anything yet. If you all of a sudden said, I want to add in a second voter, what would you have to do?
Just copy the answer, or copy 2 through 4.
No, you don't. Well, yes, you are. You're right. 2 through 4. Just do that one more time, and then do it one more time. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. I don't want you to do it now. Okay? Yo, you with me?
Yes.
Now, let's get back to what we are trying to get to all night long. We need to do a flow chart. If everyone is going to be using this algorithm that we have, let's do a flow chart. Because all of y'all told me, Dr. Jones, I'm going to learn how to use a flow chart. I'm going to use flowed, or I'm going to use Flogorithm. Everybody said that. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everybody lied, so it's time to show up. You got to show me what you got.
Sir.
I'm not sure you can do that. Oh, you can. Excuse me. You bad. You bad. Wait a minute though. Make sure your algorithm is on the opposite page so you can see it.
Okay.
Oh, you got it. Let's roll. If you're using other things, now flow does not have a place to declare variables, or does it? How do you create variables in Flow?
You just type it in. Hold on.
Yeah,
Really?
This is one. Oh wait, I used the wrong box. Hold on.
Is that right?
Yeah, variables declared. Now, whatever they are, I just put down here. So, like for this one, if they're from District 1 and their vote is yes, that's what happens.
That's what I hate about Flow. It doesn't really do input. This thing, okay. This is messy. Okay, oh, this is driving me crazy. This is too messed up. Okay, I gotta say something.
Mm-hmm.
You guys who use Flogorithm folk, I'm asking y'all a question. Is there a data type called character, or is it just real and integer?
There's a data type called character.
They're real? Now, okay, go. I need someone to be doing this thing in Flogorithm. I need y'all to hurry up and do this. Is it clear that we cannot treat this as if they're real files here yet? Okay. So the data, if you test this out in Flowgorithm, you have to put the data in. There is no file. Okay, I'm gonna have a baby with you, Mia.
Why?
That didn't sound right. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. That sounded way wrong. Okay. That was so wrong. Your algorithm says you're going to increment what?
The Ycount.
I got you. Now, more than likely, you're going to have to put some quotes of some sort around Y. Do you?
Probably. There you go.
Whoa. Okay. Time out.
Okay.
In the input box, don't put quotes. This is totally right.
It's not accepting it otherwise. I don't know why it won't accept characters. It accepts numbers.
Well, put a.
It says Y is not defined.
It thinks Y
Dr.
is
Jones.
available. Yes.
Before anything happens, I want to apologize because I falsely gave you false information. There is not character on Flowgorithm. There is just real, integer, and bool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how in the world can you have data that's a character?
I don't know.
Real.
I don't know on Flow, and I don't know on Flowgorithm.
Okay. This is kind of nasty.
Won't accept this.
Okay. So, I got to be careful with my language here. Let's just forget this then, because this is going nowhere. Okay. If you can't represent it as a flow chart, we need to abandon that. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Why don't we do this? No, girl, what are you doing?
I didn't do it. It
messed
up. I tried to move it.
We're not going to stop anything. Go back to where you were.
I'm fine. I got to go find it now. Hold on.
We're just going to abandon trying to do the flow chart if we can't represent our data types. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay? That's a shame. Now, is there anything stopping us from just writing the code right here? Can't we follow what we have here to write our code? Yes or no, y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it real fast. I don't mean to take all this time. I'm so disappointed. Oh, this is horrible. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let someone else. Hey, do me a favor. Hey. Do me a favor.
Yes.
Take the algorithm, copy it, and paste it into chat. Do that. That way we can share it. Paste it in the chat. And everybody can go ahead in the chat and pull it out and let that be the beginning, be your algorithm. Okay. It's kind of messy, but it'll kind of work.
It doesn't transfer over exactly.
But you can take it and separate the lines out. It's better than typing everything. Shoot. What a mess. This is the biggest mess.
All right. Do you want us to try and attempt writing the code?
You muted.
You're muted, Dr. Jones.
I think he's muted on purpose, guys.
You don't need to hear me cussing, okay? My mouth is moving. Don't need to hear that, okay? Let me tell you what we've done. We've kind of burnt almost 2 hours fooling with this thing. Okay? Now here's a question. Was that a waste of time?
I mean,
No.
no.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Assignment.
No.
Why?
It wasn't a waste of time because we actually just applied what we learned in the video.
No, you didn't. You didn't
Well,
learn
I did.
No, you
I
didn't.
don't know about them, but I applied it.
Are y'all missing the point? Why did I take so long on this? What was this whole exercise about?
So we do this the next problem we see, and you don't have to go through this.
What do we call that?
Teaching?
You said what?
What do you call what we just spent the last 2 hours doing? I'm trying to show you what.
Solving the problem.
How to
Teamwork,
solve.
collaborating with one another.
No, it's not. Don't just make up words, man.
Solving the problem.
Solving the problem and writing an algorithm. Isn't that what we've talked about?
Yep.
And did it take a long time?
Yep.
Why? There's a simple reason for it. Because
You wanted to make sure we understood it?
Or solving the problem is the hardest thing about writing a program. Writing the code is not the hardest part. Solving the problem is the hardest part. Okay, how many of y'all got a feel for that? Because half of y'all didn't read the problem carefully, did you? You kind of did a little something and you were getting ready to go and do something without getting the big picture. How do we solve a problem, y'all? What did I make y'all do?
Write out the inputs.
Before that?
Read it and like just understand it.
Huh? Now, what you said, I kind of like what you said. You used the wrong word. I made you understand what the inputs are. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
What else did I do after that? I made you make up an example, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, for this example, solve the problem. And I made you solve the problem. And for some of y'all, it was kind of hard to figure out what the solution looked like. Is that true? You had to read the problem again, say what I think the solution is doesn't match what it says it should be. You get it? And then we started talking about what? What variables you need? What variables do you need for input? What kinds of things do you calculate? What have we spent all of our day talking about? We're talking about a special kind of variable called a, all day we've been talking about what?
Count.
Counters. What's special about it?
They start at 0.
Thank you so much. And what else? What's the data type?
Integer.
It's a whole number. Okay? They start at 0. When you see something that's important, you may change it by 1, right? Might add 1 to it. The last thing we did was a stupid if. Is that true?
Yes.
That's the last thing we did was a stupid if. Did I say stupid if? A simple if, all right? Now, here's what we got to do. Good heavens, this is, I don't know what to do. Okay, Jordan, you've been quiet. Adrian, you've been very quiet. Okay, y'all don't give a flip. Need to do let's go. This is too messy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, let's go to Codio and let's do some drill stuff. Let's do that. Waste of time. Total waste of time. Total waste of time.
Why did he get so quiet?
Cause he's cussing right now.
I thought my connection went bad.
Everyone's muted, that's why.
I have a couple questions regarding drills, Dr. Jones.
Who's talking? Who is talking?
Jonathan.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's regarding the first drill. I tried the code out. I answered the question, but it's acting different.
Okay. All right. Okay. There's something everybody needs to know about drills. Let's go to the first one. Because there's some instructions in here that is easy to overlook. And if you overlook them, you can never have it right. Line 6 says what? Line 6, what does it say?
Do not issue prompts
or label output.
What does it say? Do y'all hear me?
Yes, it says do not issue prompts or label output.
Do you know what that means?
Don't tell the user to enter.
Don't say a word about entering stuff. Just read. The moment you produce output you're not supposed to, your answer is wrong. Okay? It says don't label output. If it says calculate the sum of 3 numbers, just output the sum. Don't say anything like sum equals something. Just put the number out. Is that clear? That is true in all of the stuff. And if you make a habit of just asking for stuff you shouldn't, it's going to be wrong. Good enough? So let's solve this thing real fast. What's required?
An if statement?
No. I'm fussing. I need y'all. Didn't we learn today that you guys don't read stuff well? Didn't we learn that?
You have to read 2 integer values.
Okay, wait a minute. Didn't we learn that you've got to read carefully? Don't just jump in there and do stuff. All right? The function tells you what it is you need to do. You got to read it carefully. What's important? If I say do this and then do this and then do that, you got to get the order right. You got to do stuff in the order it tells you. So what's the first thing you got to do? What's the first thing?
Read 2 integer values.
Do that first, okay? How do you do it? Just read it. Don't be asking. Just go. Just read it, right? Now, what's the next thing?
Make an if statement.
Tell me what to write, please. If, what comes after if?
Brackets.
Do I put, no, let's call them what they are. They're parentheses, a left parenthesis. Do I always put a left parenthesis or is it optional?
Yeah, always.
Always.
Always and forever. Now, what goes inside of there?
Number one.
Number one.
Okay, this is algebra.
Greater number two.
Everybody got that part?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that's true, what do you want to do? Do that on a line underneath. Indent it so you can see that line 17 depends on line 16. Does it?
Yeah.
Whatever I put on line 17, I'm not going to do it unless line 16 is true. So what are we going to say? Going to do what? If it's bigger, write the word bigger. So how are we going to say that? Come on. Come on.
Well, you're gonna say see out.
I got to output it. Okay.
Shouldn't you do like the brackets so like it stays together so it doesn't?
Nah, because it's only one. If you're doing multiple lines, that's like multiple statements. That's when you have a bracket.
There you go.
Okay, bet. Thank you.
Now, what else does it say? What's the key word you see here?
Otherwise.
Otherwise. In C++, otherwise is spelled what? How do you spell otherwise in C++?
Else.
That's how you say it, right? Else what?
See out, smaller.
Make sure you end your statements now, okay? That's all this is asking for. If you got this wrong and you did everything it looks like you did, you probably were trying to ask for input. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Agreed.
by now I expect everybody to know how to do a simple if-else. So let's talk about this for a minute. With this form of an if statement, there are two possible outcomes. There's two possible outcomes. One is bigger, one is smaller. Which one you select depends upon this. It depends upon the condition. What about the condition? Num1 greater than num2. What kind of result does that produce? 3 plus 5 produces what kind of result?
An integer?
An integer. Num1 greater than num2 produces what kind of result?
String.
No.
Wait. Say it one more time, please.
The expression 3 greater than 5 produces what? What's the result of 3 greater than 5?
Smaller. Wait, 3 isn't greater than 5. I'm very confused.
What are you trying to tell me? 3 greater than 5, you're saying that's not true. Oh, it's false.
Yeah, but false isn't a statement in this thing.
3 greater than 5, you just said yourself, it's false. It's not true.
Very.
You are asserting something that's not true. When I
So
say 3 greater than... No. All right. Now, this is where y'all need to read and whatever y'all got to do. When I compare something, whatever this evaluates to, come on, man, it's either going to be true or false. Is that clear? If this result is true, I will do this. If it's false, I will do that. So if statements are based on things being true or false. Is that part clear? If whatever you put in here is true, do the thing that comes after it. Otherwise, do the thing that comes after else, if there is such a thing. All right, work with me. If I want to do arithmetic, I say plus, minus, times, divide, and that. If I want to do arithmetic, is that true? What are these symbols called? Operators. But these are, I'm going to be with it, arithmetic operators. Got it? If I'm comparing things, what do I have? I say greater than, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal, equal, and not equal. Okay? These are operators too. What do they do? What do these operators do? Don't they compare things?
Yes.
Okay. In my world, I would call these comparison operators, but that's not what they're called. They're called relational operators. And what do they produce? They produce true or false. That's the nature of them. They produce true or false. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? So in the world of making decisions, if statements, we typically are going to use relational operators to come up with something, to come up with a result that is true or false, right here. Got to say it again. The relational operators produce what type of value? I will have a baby right here and now.
True or false?
Integer.
I just told you, don't get crazy now. True or false? The data type in C++ that holds the value true or false is called Boolean, B-O-O-L. It means a value that's either true or false. When I compare things with these operators, it produces a result that is true or false. The result is what determines how my decision is made. Are we totally straight on this? Are we straight on this? Okay? Now, let's check this. Get out of this thing. How do I check it? Check it. Why won't it respond to me? It's not responding. What have I done? I don't know what this is. Okay. Why won't it check it? Oh, because I'm still in this annotate mode. My bad. Okay. Was it okay?
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's try another one. 2.2 is a flowchart tool. We're not going to fool with that right now. And what do we have here? Let me erase this thing. This is so aggravating. This is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Right? Let's move on. Now, let me explain what this one is about. If you do video, I'm not sure which one it is, but one of them, it shows you a construct called a switch. We're not there yet, so skip over this one. You don't know how to do it. All right, what about this guy here? How do you approach this? Y'all are too quiet for me. Okay?
If
I'm
statement.
gonna keep moving. Okay. This is not impossible, but it requires a thought process that you don't have yet. Okay. What about this guy?
Read two integers. Values. And then you make an if statement.
Okay, let's roll. All right, go.
No.
What does it say?
To read two integer values, and if the first number is bigger than 17, or the second is less than 3, write the word okay. Otherwise, do not Otherwise, display do not.
Okay. Now, doesn't this sound like the other one sounded? Where it looked like if something,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to do something else something. Isn't that what we just had?
Yeah.
It looks, so the shape of it is going to be like this, isn't it? Whatever we do is going to have this form to it. Is everybody on board with that? Why? Because there's two possible outcomes, right? It's either going to say okay or it's going to say not. It's got to say one of those. So the decision looks like an if. If one thing is true, do one thing. Otherwise, you got to do something else. Now, can I start comparing things? Can I just start reading stuff? Can I just start doing that? Or is that something I need to do ahead of time? That.
Declare the values.
The who?
Declare the values.
One more time. Wrong V. Give me the right V.
Variables, I mean.
Thank you. Big difference, right?
Yeah.
When I read something, I need variables, so I got to get variables first. So let's do A and B. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do what?
Read A, then read B.
And we're going to say what?
If A, and then do the greater than sign, and then B. Oh, wait, 17, my bad, 17.
I'm going to do this. This is probably not totally necessary, but I'm going to do it to keep life simple. One comparison I'm going to make is whether or not A is bigger than 17. Check.
Mm-hmm.
And what is, keep reading. It says,
Or.
Either it's or. How do you say or?
So you could put like the word or.
No.
No.
Okay. You got the right idea. What? You want to say this, but you can't. There's an operator called vertical bars. Okay. That's how you say or. Is that clear to everybody? The operator boom boom means or. Okay?
Okay.
And whoa, this one means and. Okay? Y'all follow? So I have two comparisons. One of them has to be true. So what do I say? What's the other comparison?
Less than, so B, then less than sign, 3.
3. Okay? All right. Then what are we going to do? If below that's the case, what do we do?
Cout.
You got to say the string, okay. All right.
And then else is for the otherwise. And then cout, not.
I'm trying to be smart, and this thing is going to make me cuss. Daggone it. I'll say not. Okay?
Yeah.
What have we learned? Let's make sure we walk away with something. What have we learned?
That the 2 straight lines is for or.
Okay. But we've also learned that when I make a decision, it can be based on a combination of things.
Yeah.
A combination. I can join the combinations by saying and or. Is that clear? And or. All right. So if I have an or, how many things have to be true? For this whole thing to be true, how many things? Here's one result, here's another. How many of these have to be true for the or to be true?
Just one.
Just one. If this had been an and, how many things would have to be true?
In both of them.
Both of them. Big difference. Is that clear? So with an or, if I have X or Y or Z or W, as long as one of them is true, you're fine. If I say and, all of them have to be true. All right? Are we good?
Yes.
I did something just to keep life simple. Inside these parentheses, you got to be careful that if you have other parentheses that they add up right. So, and the editor helps you by having these things colored. These blue ones are the outer ones where everything has a fit. Each thing that you put in there, you got to make sure you close it before you go on. Notice that, yeah, if you, am I blind? I'm not blind. This is weird. Okay, anyway. All right, we checked it, right? Okay. I'm going to do something really silly, okay? I'm going to do something silly. You need to pay attention because it's easy to make mistakes. What if I say this? What have I just done? What have I done? Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see what I did?
Yeah, you added the
semicolon. What does semicolon mean?
That would have stopped. That stops it.
It says game over. Stop it. So guess what? This is as if both of these things are true, there's nothing to do. The stuff that I do is between the right paren and the semicolon, which is nothing. So let's check this. What kind of error does it tell you? It says you have an else, but there's no if. Why?
Because of the semicolon?
The semicolon says the whole thing is over with. So you can't have an else just floating around unless there's an if. All right? And let's go with that. Okay, that's good enough. That's the lesson that you learn. Okay, let's see if there's another one. This is totally not what I planned. Can we do this? Let's do this. Let's do this. This is not hard at all. This may be all we get done. Daggone it. Okay? Read the problem. We're making a decision. We got to decide whether we're going to display the first word or the second word. What is our decision? How many possible outcomes are there? How many possible outcomes?
Two?
Two. How many outcomes will occur? At most, how many will occur? There's two possible ones. How many will occur?
One at a time?
One or the other. So what does my if statement look like? What shape does it have? Please say the same shape we just had before.
Like same one as last time.
If something, then something, else something. Agreed? So the problem itself tells you the shape of it if you read it carefully. All right? So before I do the if, what's required?
Declare it. You got to declare.
What do I declare?
String. I did word 1, word 2.
Help yourself. I'm being shorter, okay? So what are we going to do?
If.
No. Before we do the if statement, don't we have to have two strings read in?
Oh, yes.
So let's roll.
CN string CN
S and W, okay? Now, what are we going to say now?
Then you have to do what? S. So is S.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I have a small screen, so I'm flipping back and forth. Greater than S2 or W.
Yeah. Then what?
Then C out S.
Oh, yeah. Then output write the second word. No, be careful now. It says if the first word is bigger, write the second one. What's the second one?
W.
W. Be careful, right? Otherwise, what?
Then the program would be wrong.
No. If you don't print out the W, then you must print out the first word.
S.
Go ahead.
C out S.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, these are the very simple drills, okay? These are real simple, and I should call you up at 3 a.m. in the morning. You should be able to say, here's what you got to do. Nothing to it. Nothing to it. Is that clear?
3 a.m.? Like,
That's clear as glass now. That's clear as glass, all right? If I gave you a flow chart, can you turn the flow chart into code? Can you? The answer is no.
No.
Can't do it. You can't do it yet, okay? You ain't there yet, okay? This is one I'm not going to keep you that long, so I'm not going to get into this one. This one requires a little thing here. This requires a different form of an if statement. This requires a statement that says, how many outcomes are there?
3. Whoa.
Yes. 3 possible outcomes. You're going to say 0, or you're going to calculate using this formula, or you're going to calculate using this formula. So it's 3 possible outcomes. Okay? When it's 2 possible outcomes and you must pick one, you only need to check one thing. Because when all else fails, you do the other thing. In this case, you got to do a process of elimination. Got to listen to me carefully. Let me annotate this because I'm about ready to, come on, man, come on. Have a process of elimination. First thing you're going to do is we're going to try to check to see if this is true. If it's true, we know what to do. Got it? If it's not true, we got to go back and say, whoa, we got to keep checking. So the second check that I do, I will do only if the first one fails. This is check 1. This is check 2. If check 1 fails and check 2 fails, what are you left with? What are you left with?
Then you're left with
this guy, right?
Yeah.
And there's no more checking. So in this case, the last thing you're going to say is else. When all the other things failed, I'm left with this. So you're going to say else. This, however, is going to look like this. Your code is going to look like if some stuff here, 2, 3. Then that's, if I call this A, B, and C. If that's true, you're going to do A. Otherwise, I got to check. Otherwise means else, right? Read my lips good. Otherwise, I got to do the second check. If the first check is not met, I've got to keep checking. If it's false, if the first check is false, I must say, otherwise, let me try the second thing. How do I try something? Don't I try something by saying if? That's how I try. And if that's satisfied, we're going to do B. If A is not satisfied, if the first check is not satisfied, I drop down to the second one. If it's not satisfied, I drop down to the next one. When you're down to the last one, you're just going to say else. So the code will look like if, else if, else. If the number of choices was 7 choices here, you would say, if it was 5 choices, you say if, else if, else if, else if, else if, else. All right? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
It's a process of elimination. You keep trying until you hit one that works. Keep trying until you hit one that works. Now, all these things are discussed in the videos. Is that true?
Yeah.
They're there. Now, let me make sure we're clear on something. We're probably down to 5 people left in here. Ooh, I love this. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Stop share. Let me see. Where are you, roundheads? I want to see you. I really want to see you.
I think some other people dropped because it's 7:30.
I know it. They got so many places to go. All right. I'm hoping y'all are getting something out of this. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. Okay. Now, what am I trying to get across? We said that when you watch the videos, don't just watch, participate. Are we clear about how to do that? Are we clear?
Yes.
How do you do it?
We open Codio in another tab and do it with the video.
And or you can just open the video from YouTube. I think if you click on the video, you can get a URL for YouTube. And that way it's in a separate window.
Okay.
All right.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Because the test is Monday. Like, how exactly is the test going to be structured? Like,
meaning, okay, let me not be ugly. Okay. It's going to be some silly little multiple choice questions. Going to be some true and false, some fill in the blanks, and a question or two where you got to write an algorithm and write a little code. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
It will not include the if stuff, I hope. I'll double check. It should not include any if stuff because we haven't talked about it that much. Huh? What'd you say? Who said that? Mir's the only one. Who else is open? Who's got the phone line open? All right. Aaliyah, I haven't even talked to Aaliyah all day. What's up, Aaliyah?
Hey.
Where are you? Let me see you. You already had your dinner, right?
No.
Are you in the dorm?
Yes, I was about to head out.
Huh?
I was about to head out.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta head out soon. The class gonna close.
I know.
Okay, what are y'all talking about? What
if
class?
she's in the dorm, the CAF closes, so she won't be able to eat.
So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just getting to go.
Okay, good. Okay, I think I'm good. Last thing I'm gonna say is, bear with me. Oh boy, this thing makes me so angry. This annotate grabs my mouse. If you go back to the course, um, 2 minutes and I'll be done. So how many people are on campus?
There's not as much. No, there's not as much people as it was last year. I mean, last semester.
Is it about a third of the people or half of the people?
It's lower than that.
Yeah, it's lower than a third because FAMU only opened up dorms for, I think they said, like, 40% of students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't even go up to campus. If I go, I sneak up there after hours.
You can park anywhere.
Well, be careful about that because they've I think they're gonna start enforcing parking.
Oh, they gonna get you.
Yes, sir, Rebub.
But it's there.
Say what? Okay. Now in module 5, at the bottom, I put an if sandbox. Are y'all seeing this?
Yes.
Okay. This is important because I may have mentioned this at the beginning, but these are little things you ought to be able to do. Are y'all with me?
Yes.
Based upon what we did today, you ought to be able to do all of these things. You need to do these for the sake of your own confidence. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
That's the point. And if you don't do these, you cannot gain the confidence that you need. All right. But I am so afraid because you guys, in my opinion, we are way behind on stuff. And we got to catch up. Got to catch up. And you do so by doing this. Okay. If y'all need something, you know to email me, right?
Yes, sir.
You know to call. You can call me on my office phone. It gets routed to a Google number, so I can get it anytime. I'm up all hours of the night and day. Calling me at midnight is not too late. Okay.
All right.
So, but let's get busy. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for being dutiful.
Bye,
All
Dr.
right.
Jones.
Have a good
You
one.
guys
Bye,
have a
guys.
blessed day, and thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah, bye, y'all. Good luck on the test on Monday.
Wait a minute. Mia.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Mia rocked today, right? Give her a hand.
Sure did.
Okay.
Thank you.
I need another volunteer next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm. Stuff is too long.